I think it can. Will it? I don't know. I don't know, because that then depends on the individual players, doesn't it? You know, and whether or not the record companies that put out these records or distribute, which is my case, are going to want to make those kinds of political stands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that we're dealing with another breed of I mean, our society has changed so much. So, you know, we've become complacent. The society has become complacent. And so I think that a lot of musicians have become complacent.
Yeah.
And those who are angry and want to make statements, I don't know that those are going to be the ones that we're going to hear from, unless it's through another format.
Right.
I don't know that we're going to hear from it in any kind of mass-produced way on a recording, unless it's done in a way that it can be tasteful and the message can be subtle.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For example, I included Strange Fruit for a number of reasons.
Right.
I included Strange Fruit on this album because I felt that that was a pivotal turning point in Billie's career when she stood up for that song.
Of course.
And you know, I think that this spoke volumes about her as a woman and being courageous at that time to really address this whole issue of slavery and the atrocities that we as a people, as a black people, suffered under this whole racist era.
Right.
I feel that it still hasn't gone away. I think that it's kind of been diluted a little bit, but it's still there. And I think that Barack Obama's being elected was a miracle.
Yeah.
And but also it was a polarizing point, because what is happening in this country is racism is coming back in some areas in a way that, I mean, with a force.
Right.
The Black Panther Party has been resurrected in some cities in the South. You know what I mean? So it's something. It has created such a strong response from people on both sides of the fence that you know, it is evoking some political reactions, and some actions are happening out of the political climate that could eventually lead to musicians making statements. But I choose to, when I sing the song, because I don't like to sing it every time.
Yes.
I don't particularly like to go there every time. But when I do perform it, I notice that every time before I do it, I make a very political statement. Don't do it for the younger generation because they don't understand what the song is about. I do it because I use it as a vehicle to say that it's time for us to start standing up for ourselves and speaking out as individuals, and then as we raise our own individual voices, then it's going to raise the collective voice of the nation to be conscious of what is going on and to make some kind of stand on whether or not they think this is right or wrong, but to make some kind of stand, because this country doesn't want to make any stands anymore. The people living in the country, you know, nobody wants to make waves. And then with our last government, it was treasonous to speak out against anything. You know, it was unpatriotic, you know, the whole Patriot Act and all of that baloney. You know, so it's kind of difficult to say if the voices will be heard or will be allowed to be heard, I think we are preparing the way again for a political change that will be heard in the music. Right. But I don't know that it's going to happen right away.